All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to thank everyone for taking the time to join us today. We've got a lot of great information to share with you. My name is Micah Matthews. I am one of the marketing directors here at Messer Financial Group, and I am joined by Philip Mishler, who is the Regional Sales Director for National General, and we are presenting this live from our home office here in Mint Hill, North Carolina. So again, we'd like to welcome everybody and thank everyone for taking the time. Looks like we've got a great attendance currently, so what that means to me is that there's a lot of interest in the under 65 health market, which is fantastic. Obviously, it's been an up and down roller coaster ride since all the changes came back and when the ACA first came out. So we're going to give you the most up-to-date information regarding the ACA and under 65 markets, as well as industry updates for the legislative ruling regarding the 90-day rule, and also tell you a little bit about National General and why you should choose them among everybody else and what separates them. But before we begin, since it is that time of year, I think a great place to start would be with taxes. We all just had to pay our taxes, and I'm sure many of you probably have heard people complaining about paying the penalty for not having health insurance, or having health insurance just to avoid paying the penalty. So here's some good news that I would like to share with you guys, because many of you may or may not know already that the majority of people out there are probably already exempt before we even start the whole process. So in writing on the healthcare.gov website is everything you'll need to know on who qualifies for exemptions. Right here at the very top, you can see it says how to claim an exemption because marketplace health coverage is considered unaffordable based on your projected annual household income. And this is key, guys. If the lowest cost bronze level marketplace plan available to you in the tax year costs more than 8.16% of your annual household income, you're exempt. We know that since the ACA has come out that every year the premiums increase greatly. Well, for once, it's actually beneficial to those that qualify to little to no subsidies because that's making most people exempt. And if you are wondering, how do I find out what the lowest cost bronze plan is for a family? Well, we have that situated for you. So if you go right to messerfinancial.com, under Agent Resources, you will see that there is a Quote Tools tab. When you click that Quote Tools, it'll take you to all of our quote tools, which are all free of charge. You're more than welcome to use them. The one for the ACA would be this health quote. So what you can do is just pull this up. You can do a zip code. Ours is 28227, and that is in Mecklenburg. And we'll run a quick quote. I'll just show you one that I did recently. I'll walk you through the whole process real quick. Let's say we've got a family of four, a husband, a wife, and two children, let's say. So we've got a male, a female, two children, and we'll say that, let's just do a 38-year-old male and female for the husband and wife, and we'll say two 10-year-olds, we'll say they're twins for the children. And what we're trying to do is find out if the lowest cost bronze plan that's available to them is higher than 8.16% of their income. So you've got, let's say 1/1/2008 and 1/1/2008. All right, so then we'll hit next, and we'll just choose medical. And this is going to be how you figure it out. So as you can see, it's going to list it from the lowest to highest premiums. So the very first cost that comes up is a Blue Cross Blue Shield plan, and the premium for assuming that they didn't qualify for a subsidy, is $1,546.40. Okay, so if you do the math on that, you do 1546.4 times 12, because there's 12 months in a year. That's going to give you $18,556.80. Okay, so what we're trying to do is find out if that's higher than 8.16% of their household income. So, and the easiest way to do that is to then, sorry, 850 times. So if you take the 18,000 and you divide that by 0.0816, you're going to get a very large number, 227,000. So basically what that means is if that household filed and their income was less than $227,000 for the year, guess what? They're exempt from the penalty. So if that family makes $200,000 a year, it is deemed that unaffordable insurance is being offered to them. It's crazy to think about, but that's the reality of the situation. So for anybody that you know that just recently paid a penalty for on their taxes for not having health insurance, go back and try to figure out what their income is and what the premium would have been for the lowest cost bronze plan. I'm sure they'd be probably pretty surprised, and then they may be able to go in there and file for an exemption. And again, on the healthcare.gov website, it's going to take you through how to apply for that, and they may actually be able to get a nice refund. I know a friend of mine just paid $4,000 for not having insurance. So this was definitely beneficial to him. So that's what we wanted to start off with first, just to show you guys that most people are probably, if they qualify to little to no subsidies, are exempt from the penalty. And everything you need to know is on healthcare.gov on all the different variations on how to be exempt from the penalty. So keep that in mind, especially since we're going to be talking about short-term medical here. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Philip Mishler so he can tell you a little bit about National General.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Phil Mishler. Micah, thanks for the intro there. I appreciate it. So what we're going to do today is go through just a couple of PowerPoint slides, and then I'm going to get into our quoting and enrollment system. And so, but before I do that, I just wanted to say thank you for carving time out of your day to be on the call. I know your time's valuable, and I really appreciate you spending it with us. So who's National General? So National General is an A- excellent rated carrier. We've made some, a lot of our history has been in the property casualty market, and over the years we've made purchase of GMAC and many other carriers to get where we are today. But in the accident and health insurance arena, our goal is to be the #1 carrier in the supplemental product space for individuals. And of course, how are we going to get there? We have a tremendous, we have the strongest short-term medical product that's out there. We're the only quality carrier that has a guarantee issue option. And we have a great network with the Aetna Open Choice PPO. Now, while we don't force our customers to use that network, if they do, they will achieve a significant network savings. And it's in most areas of the country, it is hard to find a provider that's not part of that network. So for the short-term medical, I'm just going to open up all these screens. So we have both Simplify issue, which basically means you answer no to 4 health history questions and 1 citizenship question, and you're getting the insurance. And then we have 2 guarantee issue plans. For example, if you have a customer with diabetes, they're not buying short-term from anybody. We would actually take that person with all the normal limits of our plan, other than we reduce the maximum on the policy. So I did mention the Aetna network is super strong. It is the open choice network, and it's unarguably the most robust network in the country. We're one of the few carriers that will do a child-only policy. The children have to be a minimum 2 months old in order to do that. Most of our benefits are subject to the deductible and the coinsurance, with the exception of this $50 urgent care copay, which is unlimited. And that $50 covers walking into the urgent care facility. For example, if you have the flu, you go in, you pay $50, they treat you, they give you medication, and you leave. If you go in there and you get things other than normal office visits, such as x-rays, lab work, that is going to go to the stated plan coinsurance. Just one little trick, we do still sell some plans with 100% coinsurance. So if you decide to promote our short term and you promote a plan that has 100% coinsurance, whatever they get done is covered 100% at that urgent care visit. In order to get our insurance in most states, the customer is required to join our life association, and it comes with a lot of benefits, but the only two that are really worth mentioning is that's where they access telemedicine. Our telemedicine benefit is available, and there's no cost for that interaction with the doctor. The second benefit that's important to mention is prescription discounts. So the way prescriptions work under our short-term medical plan, if that drug is administered in a hospital, such as a chemotherapeutic drug, that's going to be covered under the medical plan. But if your customer is seeking an outpatient prescription for a non-pre-existing condition, we give them a deeply discounted discount card in order to fill that prescription. The standard issue short term is available in 39 states, and the guarantee issue is in 33. Okay, so it'll make more sense when we get into the quoting of the short term. Just to go, I can't go back, but one of our biggest claims to fame currently through last open enrollment and continuing today and into the foreseeable future is we offer, as most of you are aware, short-term medical sales are limited to 90-day period. And what we determined is within the law, we can offer 4 90-day short terms to that customer, and we sell them those 4 policies all at once. So you don't have to touch the client every 90 days, and we only look at pre-existing conditions on the first policy. National General has the shortest pre-existing look back for claims. It's a 12-month look back, so anything that customer experienced with a health condition, be it consultation with a doctor, treatment, or medication, in that 12 months immediately preceding their effective date is excluded from coverage. But with the 4 policy package, and again, it'll make a little more sense when I go to do a sample quote, if, for example, if your customer breaks their arm in the first 90 days and the doc says you need 10 weeks of physical therapy running into the second 90-day period, we actually cover that, although the deductible and the coinsurance do reset every 90 days. And one of the ways to help a customer with that deductible and coinsurance resetting is with supplemental products. So as you can see here, we have a product. It's called TrioMed. I like it so much, I own it myself. Basically, what it's going to do for your customer is giving a lump sum of benefit. Let me go to the next page here. All right. So I guess a few important points. TrioMed is guarantee issue. So if your customer breathes air, they have a credit card or a bank account, they're automatically going to get it. The product includes accident medical expense and critical illness and accidental death and dismemberment. So here are the details. Your client is getting this lump sum that you see here per accident. So if I buy the $5,000 benefit, less a $250 deductible, National General is going to shove $5,000 across the table at your customer on each accident that they have. So this is how it works. I mentioned the $250 deductible. It is per injury. It does coordinate with your maximum out of pocket. So if you buy a $5,000 benefit and you have a $4,000 accident, you're getting the lesser of the two. And for critical illness piece of this, it pays out. So one of the ways that we make a guarantee issue is it pays out on first diagnosis only. So if your customer comes to us, God forbid, and they have a history of cancer, we will still cover them for all the other conditions that are covered under the policy. And we actually, the way that the critical illness pays out is you can actually get 3 payouts on the TrioMed. So let's take a look at these categories. So if I buy this product and in the first week I have a heart attack and I bought the $5,000 benefit, I'm getting $5,000 to National General. And then in week 2, I wind up getting invasive cancer, I'm going to get $5,000 again. And then in the third week of the most unlucky month ever, I get a coma I'm going to get $5,000 again. So, I hope that never happens to anybody you know, but the benefit of this product is it's there to pay out when they need it. TrioMed is available in most states. Here's a state map. You can take a look at it based on where you are. A very wide availability, as you can see. The issue ages for this product are 18 to 64. It is guaranteed renewable to age 70. Just to reiterate how it works. Okay, so here's some sample rates for it. We've never had a rate increase on these products. We don't anticipate one. And so basically, unlike your health insurance, it's going to come and almost guaranteed to go up every year. The chances are very good 5 years from now, a customer that gets into this product is going to be paying the same price as they are today. So if you look at it in a big picture way, if we look here at the $10,000 benefit at $52.69, you pair this with health insurance, your customer is going to, I'll ask the question to you this way. Do your customers want to pay $7,350 to the local hospital, or would they rather pay $52.69 a month to avoid paying $7,000? So I'll let you answer that question yourself. So the effective dates of this are the 1st of 15th. There's some cutoff dates that are important when you're looking for a specific effective date. It's very different than the short-term medical because for those of you who are familiar and those of you who are not, short-term medical can go into effect the day after enrollment, as soon as the day after enrollment, whereas the TrioMed is going to have a different effective date. We take the payment right away. They have a reoccurring payment that's drafted from their checking account or credit card 6 days before what we refer to as their monthly anniversary date. We take the following credit cards. Okay, so the next product is very similar. This product called Plan Enhancer is very similar to the TrioMed, with the differences being it has different benefit levels. So for this year, if somebody has a $7,350 out of pocket on their bronze plan, what the Plan Enhancer does is gives them, AME stands for accident medical expense. So what makes the Plan Enhancer different is it has additional levels that you can purchase. Very similar to the TrioMed, it also has a $250 deductible that applies each time we pay out an accident benefit. The plan also comes with AD&D. In many states, and this is what separates the Plan Enhancer from the other products, is in addition to accident medical expense, your customer gets the same amount, the same benefit amount if they get sick and they go in the hospital. So Plan Enhancer, great for accidents, great if your customer wants to gap their deductible in case they get sick and go in the hospital. And of course, that's why they're buying medical insurance. In many other states, there's an additional rider that they can purchase for cancer, heart, and stroke. So Plan Enhancer, very comprehensive benefit that pays out in several different categories. And this, again, is available in most states. These are two quick examples. I'll just run through it very fast. This is a person who bought no supplements, and at the end of the day, after everything's paid out, they owe $6,825. Doesn't sound good. But in this case, the person took a supplemental plan with us, and when you go here and you do the math after network discount, this person purchased the Plan Enhancer, and they have no out-of-pocket. So I think that you folks understand what the benefit is here on a plan that should never have rate increases. All right. So we do also sell a critical illness that's underwritten with a few health questions. And what they're going to get is higher amount of critical illness. So if you have a customer with a family history of cancer, for example, they can purchase up to $100,000. It's purchased in $25,000 increments up to a maximum of $100,000. Also comes with term life insurance that runs 10-year term life. And there's some other benefits that you can see here. So here's an overview of the benefit amounts and how the plan's laid out for the customer. All right, so we have some conditions that are covered at 100%. You can see them listed there. Others are paid at $25 of the face amount based on what you see here for coronary artery bypass and advanced Alzheimer's. You'll see the issue ages here. So the issue age for most of our products, we issue them through age 64. With the critical illness, it's age 59. And to wrap it up, this is a simplified issue plan. We're not ordering medical records. When you go through, you check no to the health history questions. It's an instant issue on the policy. So it's an easy way to get critical illness for your customer. Okay, next product, hospital expense protection. Really interesting plan. This is, again, is a guarantee issue product. And you can see here, basically what this is doing is this is giving your customer up to $3,000 once a year when they get sick and they go in the hospital. And if you're interested, certain plan options give your customer cash for office visits and lab work. Benefits paid directly to your customer. Some of this is pretty basic information. There is no network that they're going to use. And when you purchase this plan, it does come with our telemedicine and our discount prescription benefits. Okay, so what's it look like? So here are the 5 benefit levels. So if I just want to get sickness hospitalization coverage, then I can buy level 2 here, and I'm going to get up to $3,000 once a year if I get sick and I go in the hospital, plus $150 a day for the first 31 days. But if I go over here to level 5, I'm going to get those same 2 benefits, but I'm getting $75 twice a year for office visits, x-rays, and lab work. And those are separate benefits. So here's an example of how it's going to help in this instance with Brandon. Brandon was smart enough to purchase the hospital expense protection plan. It looks like he got pneumonia, and you can see how the benefits paid out, and Brandon pays less out of his pocket. So the value of a supplement is if you're promoting just medical insurance and you're letting your customer go out there without even having the discussion on these supplements, they're basically using their own money to support hospital stay or surgery. And here's an example where you don't have to have the customer do that. People want to buy these products. They simply don't know they exist. Certainly, they don't always know that they're available for individuals. They think they need a group to get these benefits, and they don't. Okay, so here's just quickly some sample pricing. And again, it's very similar to what I said earlier. I'm a single person. I'm buying level 2, which is going to give me $3,000 once a year if I get sick and I go in a hospital. It's $40 a month. $40 a month, much more affordable than paying $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 to your local hospital. Okay, the last supplement, accident fixed benefit. What I like about it is it covers both on and off the job. And in most states, the pricing for this product is going to run from $14.60 a month to $22 a month. So this may be a good pairing for someone that you may have that's highly subsidized. Even though their deductible and their coinsurance were reduced via cost sharing based on their income, most of those people still have some exposure. And at $14.60 up to a high at $22, it can be a lifesaver for the right person. It varies from the other accident products I talked to you about. These are what people commonly refer to as scheduled benefits. So if I get sick and I go in the hospital, I'm going to get $300 a day from National General. I'm sorry. If I get hurt in an accident and I go to the hospital, National General is going to give me $300 a day up to a year. And of course, they have all these other benefits here that they can access based on whatever their accident treatment is. So here's some more payouts. I usually start at level 2, and I would work my way back. Again, just to remind you, this is coverage that covers the customer on and off the job 24 hours a day. Does not coordinate with other coverage. Of course, it's just accident, so it's not going to cover what you see here. And it's literally available almost anywhere or almost everywhere. Okay, eligible ages for the accident fixed benefit, 18 to 64. We will not do child-only policies, and this plan, believe it or not, is renewable for life. Okay, so let's take a look at running a quote and the 4-policy package we talked about. So when you get appointed, if you aren't already, you're going to get this live link. And let me just show you how easy it is. Hang on here a second. All right, so we use our North Carolina example. If you don't change the effective date, it's always going to be pegged to tomorrow, as you see here. You can click on the calendar and you can punch out the effective date all the way into June. So you can do these things in advance. We do offer all of the supplemental products, with the exception of short-term medical, on a group list bill. So and we only need a minimum of 2 people. So if you work with employer groups, most employer groups have a deductible they wish was lower, and you want to promote, let's say you promote our hospital expense protection plan, you get 2 people in that group to have interest and enroll. The employer fills out 2 pieces of paper. We issue a group list bill number. You click this box, you put the number in, and you just do the regular enrollment. So you have to select gender. When you type in the date of birth, it'll populate the slashes for you. You do have to answer this smoker question. It's kind of poorly worded. It probably should say tobacco. You have to answer it to get a rate, but this selection doesn't influence the rates on our short-term medical. It's there for our underwritten critical illness product. So once you get in your demographic data, you're going to click continue. And when we get to the next page, this is where the short-term medical is housed. And you'll see here, it's preset to give you these 4 3-month terms. So if you don't want it, you actually physically have to unselect it and select 1, 2, or 3 months. If they're taking the 4-policy package, they have to pay monthly. You'll see a single payment option here, but this is only for policy term lengths of up to 89 days. So make sure if they're doing the 4-policy package, you let your customer know they have to pay monthly. So here are our deductible selections. I mentioned earlier some of our products still offer 100% coverage. So maybe you don't feel like explaining coinsurance to your customer. You can select 100% coverage after the deductible. So I'm going to go ahead and select this particular plan. If you want to see a brochure, you would click on this link here. If you want to see if a particular provider is in the Aetna network, you're going to click here. And again, don't forget, it's the Aetna Open Choice PPO. All right, so once you select your plan, your selection shows up in this box over here. So we selected the 5,000 deductible 100% plan. As you can see here, this is a male 50 in North Carolina. It's $217 a month. You'll see the Life Association membership at $15. Just to remind you, that's where your customer accesses their telemedicine benefit and their outpatient prescription discount drug card. Then what we do here is we list what the monthly payment is during each quarter. So here in North Carolina, the price doesn't change per quarter. If you're in another state, you may see these numbers vary a bit, but it won't be a surprise to your customer because you're seeing it right here when you're running the quote. All right, so we talked about supplemental. When we go down here, we see all the supplemental products. I talked about Plan Enhancer. I'm promoting a $5,000 deductible for this customer, so I think it would probably be a good choice to select the $5,000 benefit. So just again, AME stands for accident medical expense. SIP is sickness hospitalization coverage. So we're going to go ahead and select this for the customer. We'll just take a quick look at some of these other ones. You remember me mentioning the TrioMed, the product I own myself. When you use the drop down, you can see the 3 benefit levels. we'll have a lot of agents that are interested in the TrioMed standard issue. Basically, they're going to answer a couple of health questions, and in return, they're getting a $5,000 accident benefit, but they're increasing their critical illness coverage to $15,000 or even $30,000. So that's how that works. And you might remember when I was talking about our super low-cost accident benefit, you'll see it here. It's $14.60. So for this package, for this customer, I'm actually going to add the hospital expense protection. So I'm going to go with level 2. We'll add that to the package, and you can see this is a combined quoting portal for all of these products. The only thing that you need to tell your customer is, even though it's a combined quoting engine, when we bill them, when we draft their account, they'll actually have separate drafts for the short term, the plan enhancer, and the hospital expense protection, and actually the life association membership. So what you want to do with your customer is obviously not surprise them and let them know they're going to be getting, in this case, 4 drafts, but the amount will be this exact amount. We do charge an enrollment fee. So what this does is this breaks down for your customer what the initial fee is with the enrollment, and then what the subsequent monthly fee will be for this customer. So take a step back and think about this for a second. Here we have a 50-year-old male. He's getting a $5,000 deductible, 100% plan on short term. He's getting a lump sum $5,000 benefit per accident. Plus, if God forbid he goes in the hospital, he gets sick and goes in the hospital, he's getting $5,000 there. Oh, wait, you know what? We really wouldn't need 2 hospital benefits. I'm going to remove this one. It was pretty easy. So look at this package. It's less than $300, and you're getting all this benefit. So I think you folks are following what I'm saying here. So let's just take a look at what happens when we go to enroll. So when we go to enroll, it's going to offer us dental. I'm going to say yes to the dental. This is a cash dental. This dental allows your customer to use any dentist without a network. If they choose to use the Carrington network, you see here where it says plus savings card. If they choose to use the Carrington dental network, they're going to save money. So I'll go ahead and say yes to this. Now it's going to ask me, do I realize I'm buying 4 3-month policies all at the same time? I'm going to say yes. I'm aware of that. Okay, so you put in the first name, his last name, phone number. We will take anybody on this product as long as they're here legally. That's why you don't see a Social Security number required. Let me just get this in here. Okay. And you have to put this in. So let's see. All right, and it's kind of unusual, we do ask for a beneficiary, so you have to put that in, and then I'll just say son, okay, and continue. Oh, darn it, hold on. All right, so here are the health questions for the short term. We won't take anybody who's pregnant or related to someone who's pregnant, even if it's a girlfriend. And you can't screw this up, because if you check yes, it'll just say you're not eligible. So if you check no. There's a build question. If you're over 300 pounds, if you're a male, you would be ineligible. We'll check that one no. Here's the big question that's going to knock out items like cancer, heart attack, stroke, disc disease, and somewhere in here it says diabetes, although I can't see it right this second. So we're going to say no. The AIDS question, have you been hospitalized for mental illness or seen a psychiatrist more than 5 times in the last 12 months? And there's a difference between psychiatrist and psychologist. Psychiatrist is the one that prescribes drugs, so we'll check that one no. And then they do have to answer the citizenship question, and it basically just says, if you're not a U.S. citizen, do you plan on being here the whole time? You must check that one yes. Okay, and then here are the health history questions. The plan enhancer is guarantee issue on the accident part, but if your client selects the sickness hospitalization part, they do have to answer these questions. So again, you can't screw it up. You have to check no. assuming no is the legitimate answer, and then they put in their banking information here. As soon as you click submit, we're going to remove that money from their bank account, so they want to make sure the money's there. And then after this, both you and your customer will get an immediate email telling you the policy was issued. In that email, it's going to tell your customer that they need to do a 1-minute online verification, just confirming that they know what they're getting themselves into. And at the end of that process, when I say what they know what they're getting themselves into, it's going to be a long disclaimer that says, I realize short-term medical doesn't cover pre-existing conditions. It represents them with their health history answers and says, did you mean to check no to all this stuff? And I can promise you once a week we get somebody that goes, oh my gosh, I actually checked no to that, but the answer is really yes. So it's something that helps protect you as well as the agent. But the best part is when they're done this 1-minute online verification, they're actually able to obtain a temporary ID for the short-term medical. So just think about this for a second. You're going to go from running a quote to issuing a policy to handing if they're in your office, to handing the customer their ID card, their temporary ID card for their short term in the span of 8 minutes. 9 minutes if you're a slow typer. So that's an overview of the quoting system. What I wanted to do, Micah, can you just help me to see if anyone has a question?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's just see if we have any questions here. Okay, yes, we actually do have some questions here. One question is, can we assume if the client chooses an Aetna Choice network that they will receive a network discount on all services?
Only covered charges.
Only the covered charges.
Yeah, that's contractual with their providers. We would love to be able to provide it for pre-existing conditions, but we cannot do it.
Can you share these slides with the participants?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll get those out to anybody who attended the webinar this morning. Do any of the accident plans cover DME the doctor recommends paid directly by the client? Durable medical equipment?
I will have to get back to you on that one. That's Steve Holzer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Steve, I'm going to get back to you on that via email.
Is the critical illness on TrioMed also cut off at 59?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Let's see.
A lot of questions. Thank you.
Short-term medical is available in which states?
Most states. I could provide you with the state listing.
We'll send out a list of the states that National General is available. And what's the look back on critical illness?
Ooh. It's 12 months.
12-month look back on critical illness. Okay. All right, that looks like that's all the questions.
All right, well, I would say at this point, hopefully you folks feel like this is a good overview of what National General has to offer, and you get a peek at our technology. I did want to let you know we're moving to the Quote-It platform. Some of you folks might be familiar with Quote-It as a engine where you can bundle on and off exchange policies for individuals, bundle in supplemental products. We purchased Quote-It about a year ago, and we're going to move to that quote platform on June 1st. What that's going to do, especially for agents that are already writing with us, you'll love this, is it will finally give you the ability to save a proposal that you might have done for a customer by their name. And then the best part about it is when you email a quote to a customer. Now, I'll assume a lot of you are one-call closers, but for those of you who aren't and need to send a proposal to a customer, when you send that link to the customer, it's going to pull them right into the package of benefits that you created for them. And we don't, oh wait, how do I get the, oh, I see. I'll just give you an example if I could go back here a second, plans. So there it goes, okay, because I kind of skipped over this. Uh-oh, All right. Well, I'm not going to be able to show you that without fiddling around with this thing too long. But basically today, you can't save your quotes with the quoted platform. You'll be able to do that and create these wonderful packages of protection for your customers. When you provide your customer with a circle of protection, they're not using their own money to support the health plan, and it's a great value, especially considering the savings that they're achieving. For people who are suitable for the product, it's a tremendous amount of savings, and we have these wonderful supplements that just going to save your customer out of pocket and make you the hero. So I just want to thank everybody for their time today. I'm going to answer the questions that I couldn't answer on the call today. We'll send them out to you via email. And please let us know how we can help you. Either contact Messer or if you were able to capture my information, you can reach me, and I will support your efforts as best I can. And thanks for attending today.
Thank you, Phil. So there's a few things that I would like to just wrap things up with. I know that everybody's interested in. As we said from the very beginning, unless your client is in basically the top 5 or 1% at income level, the chances are there's a good chance that if they have a family of 2 or more, that they may be exempt from paying the penalty already. Why do short-term medical, guys? You got to think about what kind of clientele you're getting for this. Obviously, we know they're qualifying for little to no subsidies. They're relatively healthy. They're under the age of 65. So just think about what you could do with that kind of clientele, that book of business. For all of you life agents out there really is no better client for you than someone who's relatively healthy, young, with a little bit of money and a family. So why choose National General? For all the reasons that Philip said, and also keep in mind when you're comparing apples to apples with the other carriers, their deductible is included in that out-of-pocket maximum. There are other carriers out there that supply short-term medical that the out-of-pocket maximum is completely separate from the deductible. That is a huge advantage. So when you're comparing apples to apples, you got to keep that in mind. So when you're comparing rates, plus using the Aetna network is huge. Just about everybody's in that network, so that's one of the largest in the whole entire country. Another thing also to update you on, I don't know if you've all heard this or not, but they had until April 23rd to vote on what to do about the 90-day rule. Now, the problem is, and this is what everybody needs to be aware of, they are not going to make any announcements on what that outcome was or the results of the voting until at least early fall. And no changes will be made until at least 2019. So think about that, guys. So again, why is it so important to choose National General? Is because of that 4x3 ruling. That will allow them to have a policy for the entire year and only have to go through underwriting once. Where if let's say that you were with another carrier that only allows you to do the 90-day rule. If something happens to them after that first 90 days and they're no longer insurable, then guess what? Unless it's open enrollment period, they can't get anything else, and they're the ones that need it the most. So it is absolutely crucial that you have a policy that carries them all the way until open enrollment. That way there's no gaps in coverage in worst case scenarios. So another reason why National General kind of separates themselves from anywhere else in the market. So keep that in mind. Again, the clientele, the exemptions. Now, a lot of you guys, I'm sure, have already heard about the Medishares and want to know how short-term medical compares to that. And I've even heard of MEC plans with the preventive services. Let's break it down to why people actually need insurance, why they need short-term medical, why a healthy person would need short-term medical insurance. It's because they want to be protected if something catastrophic were to happen. People don't buy insurance to just cover them for preventative services. If that's all they're doing, then chances are they're going to lose money in the long run based off the premiums versus what's it costs for preventative services. Also keep in mind for those MEC plans that only cover preventative, that does not cover if the doctor finds anything. So really what preventative services are doing, is just getting you the preventative look, the preventive service. If they find something, then it becomes diagnostic, and that policy is not going to cover that. So even if it's $60, let's say, a month, that's $720 a year that you're spending for preventative services. Now, to me, that seems a little high. So again, you're talking about National General, which is actually insurance, is covered by E&O, guarantees coverage from day one. So for all of those Medicare plans out there, you need to look at the fine details to see what kind of services are excluded day one. I know there's some out there right now that won't cover surgery for the first 6 months, won't cover cancer for 12 months. And this is all assuming that something like that happens to them while they have the policy. So I know if it was me and I have a family on there and the child were to break his arm or something and needed to have surgery, and they've had the policy for 4 months, and they come back and the doctor tells them that it's not covered under your insurance because it was within the first 6 months, who do you think they're going to come back on, guys? It's going to come back on you, the agent, not the insurance carrier, because that carrier is not actually insurance. It says that on their brochure. This is not insurance. This does not guarantee coverage. Short-term medical guarantees coverage day one, and your claims will be covered, period. So why do people get health insurance? It's for peace of mind and protect them if something catastrophic were to happen. So that's why, again, and this is my personal opinion, if you're going to sell anything, you've got to at least have something that protects you catastrophic from day one. Now, you can add all the ancillary products and supplemental products. That's perfect for your day-to-day stuff. And that will help cover any deductible that you might have. So, if you want to add hospital indemnity plans or the Trio Med or whatever the case may be, that's going to handle your day-to-day. And then you've got the short-term medical to cover you if something catastrophic were to happen. So you're basically building them a plan that's way better than any ACA plan at a fraction of the cost, and building, again, that book of business. Now, we all know that next year the ACA premiums are going to go up again. And this is a misconception too, guys. The penalty is still in force. So that's something you do need to put into account. And do your client a service. Find out if they are exempt. And if you need help finding out or doing the math or whatever the case may be, don't hesitate to call us. We will absolutely be able to figure that out for you and go over that and see if that client is exempt, because it's helping thousands of people who didn't know that they were exempt. They say, hey, I make $150,000. There's no way that I can be exempt. Well, let's do the math then. Let's actually quote the policy. Let's look at what the lowest cost bronze plan, and let's try to save you guys some money. And they're going to be forever grateful. And I'll tell you what's another great thing about short-term medical. It's first-year commission every year, guys. There's no renewal commission. Here's a good example. I had a family of 4, a husband and wife, 2 children. The husband and wife were in their mid-40s. The 2 children, one was 12, and I believe the other one was 8. The lowest cost and the husband made $250,000 a year. The lowest cost bronze plan for that family of 4 was $1,900 a month, $23,000 a year. Well, I'm sorry to say, and believe it or not, $23,000 a year is higher than 8.16% of that family's income. So you got a guy that makes $250,000 a year, and it's deemed that as unaffordable insurance is being offered to them. So what did I do? I signed them all up on a short-term medical plan. I got them all tremendous supplemental plans. So basically, they don't have to worry about anything. Their deductible's covered. If anything happens to them day one, they're covered. Their day-to-day stuff is covered, everything. And their total premium for the entire family on a Cadillac of all plans was $900 a month. I saved that family $1,000 a month. And guess what I made in commission? $2,500 for the year on that one family. And guess what I'm going to make next year on that family? $2,500. So we're talking about something that you're saving people money, you're making money. It's a win-win all around. And when those opportunities arise, you have to be able to take advantage of it. And we know that come next year, when they officially eliminate the penalty completely, there's probably, most likely, going to be a mass disenrollment for those that qualify to little to no subsidies that are healthy. And where are those clients going to go? And if you're ready and you have the product and you're available, it's just going to be an unbelievable opportunity. So, guys, we want you to make sure to have this in your portfolio. And again, Philip Mishler, myself, any of the marketing directors here at Messer Financial will be glad to help you and try to put your client in the best position so that they can protect their family. Let's see. And also, remember, guys, these supplemental plans can also stand alone, too. So you're basically building them a plan. You find out where are your clients' biggest concerns and fit that. Don't try to fit them in your product. You fit the product to what their needs are. And if you do that, then that client's going to stay with you year after year, and you're going to continue to get that first-year commissions. So looks like there was one other question here. When does the 90-day limit lifted for 364 days? Again, there's not going to be any ruling on that for a while. So as it stands for the rest of this year, the only thing that we need to be concerned about is making sure there's no gap in these guys' coverage. So again, National General is the place to be. So again, I want to thank everybody for your time. Be sure to check out our quoting tools at messerfinancial.com. You can run quotes. It has basically every product you could imagine on there that you can run quotes with. And if you have any concerns, questions, need help with potential clients, whatever the case may be, don't hesitate to give us a call. We'd love to earn your business and to continue helping you guys be successful. So again, I want to thank everybody for attending and taking the time on this Wednesday morning, and wish everybody luck. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.